Imagine you've reached your 80s. You've lived through decades of change, raised a family, built memories, and now, in this next chapter, something feels different. The days are slower. Tasks you used to do easily, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, even getting out of bed, now feel heavier. Your joints ache, your energy dips, and sometimes you worry, is this just aging, or is something deeper going on? Many seniors wonder why life seems to get harder after 80. Why do so many people slow down, weaken, or decline, even though modern medicine and better living conditions should support longer, healthier lives? And more importantly, are there habits rooted in wisdom and history that can help us not just survive but thrive past 100? In this video, we'll uncover the true hidden causes behind why many seniors struggle after 80, drawing on historical evidence, medical research, and the lifestyles of long-lived people. Then I'll share 5 wisdom habits, backed by science and real-life longevity models, that you can adopt now to help ensure your life remains vibrant, strong, and meaningful well into your 90s and beyond. By the end, you'll understand not just why things get harder, but how to fight back with real habits rooted in both modern science and time-tested traditions. 1. Preserve and build muscle. Because strength matters. Muscle isn't just about strength, and it's your lifeline. As you age, keeping muscle tone and strength can mean the difference between living independently or needing help. Without it, frailty creeps in, and even simple tasks become risky. One of the biggest hidden threats after 80 is sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. A study on centenarians showed that those with sarcopenia had much higher mortality risk. Historically, before modern medicine and nutrition, elders might not have had the opportunity to preserve muscle mass. Physical labor declined, diets were limited, and recovery from injuries was harder. Also, midlife strength seems to matter. A long-term study called the Honolulu Heart Program found that men with higher grip strength in their 50s and 60s were more likely to become centenarians. On a population level, aging isn't just a linear decline. Some damage repair models suggest that as you age, the body's repair mechanisms slow, while damage accumulates, increasing mortality risk exponentially. Engage in gentle strength maintenance activities, light resistance training, e.g., resistance bands, bodyweight exercises, or even frequent carrying. Whatever is safe and enjoyable. Prioritize functional strength. Exercises that mimic daily movement, standing up from a chair, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, help maintain independence. Work on grip strength. Simple hand grip exercises can be surprisingly powerful, and grip strength is a proven predictor of longevity. Consider physical therapy or guided exercise if you've never trained before. A physiotherapist can adapt safe exercises for your capacity. In many of the blue zones, regions known for high rates of centenarians, elders remain active in daily work, gardening, walking, simple manual tasks, which naturally helps preserve muscle. Traditional societies often maintained physical activity into older age because their daily lives demanded it, carrying water, farming, walking long distances. Muscle is not optional, it's essential. By building and preserving strength, you defend against frailty, loss of independence, and even early mortality. It's not vanity, it's survival. 2. Build bone and protect skeletal health. Bones may feel like something we only worry about when younger, but after 80, bone health becomes critical. Weak bones lead to fractures, and recovery is slower and riskier. A fall can change everything. Age-related bone loss is common. Research into centenarians shows that bone remodeling, the process by which bone is broken down and rebuilt, becomes imbalanced in older age. Historically, elders who lived in pre-modern settings often had more physical activity, walking, lifting, which naturally stimulated bone strength. Nowadays, many seniors are more sedentary, which contributes to bone weakening. Also, oxidative stress, cellular senescence, aging of cells, and hormonal changes, especially in women, accelerate bone loss. Engage in weight-bearing activities. Walking, gentle stair climbing, or light resistance exercises help stimulate bone maintenance. Ensure adequate calcium and vitamin D intake. Through diet, leafy greens, low-fat dairy if appropriate, or supplements if advised by a doctor. Incorporate balance training, e.g. Tai Chi, gentle yoga. Reducing fall risk is just as important as making strong bones. Regular checkups. Speak with your doctor about bone density scans or fall risk assessments. In traditional rural communities, older adults naturally built and maintained bone strength through daily chores, fetching water, carrying firewood, working with their hands. In blue zone populations, elders participate in physically active daily routines, not just exercise, but real-life work that supports bone density. Protecting your skeleton is a long-term investment. By prioritizing bone health now, you build resilience against fractures, falls, and frailty. Key defenses for thriving after 80. 3. Manage frailty and health deficits. Frailty is more than a feeling. It's a measurable decline in health and resilience that grows with age. But with careful attention, it doesn't have to define your life. Scientists use a frailty index to measure the accumulation of health deficits, chronic illnesses, cognitive decline, physical limitations in older people. This index strongly predicts mortality. As the number of deficits increases, so does risk of death. Over a lifetime, small issues, like mild balance problems, small heart irregularities, minor chronic pain, add up. After 80, they don't just sit quietly, they compound. Historically, elderly populations had less access to chronic disease medicine, but they also had more physically active lifestyles, perhaps slowing the accumulation of deficits. In contrast, modern medicine prolongs life but doesn't always prevent accumulation of multiple chronic issues. Biological aging models show that damage repair slows with age, so deficits pile up faster than the body can fix them. Monitor health proactively. Regular checkups, screenings, and tracking of small changes. Don't ignore minor issues. Adopt a multi-system maintenance mindset. Focus not just on one organ, like heart, but on body-wide resilience, balance, digestion, brain, immune system. Use preventive care, physical therapy, balance training, vision and hearing checks. Small efforts can prevent frailty. Embrace healthy habits, nutrition plus movement plus social plus purpose. They don't just treat disease, they slow the accumulation of deficits. In several studies of centenarians, like the New England Centenarian Study, researchers found many had multiple chronic conditions, but the secret was how they managed them and their overall resilience. Traditional elders in long-living communities, e.g. Okinawa, may not have had modern drugs, but their regular physical activity, minimal stress, and strong social networks helped limit the burden of health deficits. Frailty is not inevitable. It's a path you can influence. By managing small issues early and maintaining resilience across all parts of life, you can compress your period of decline and live more strongly for longer. 4. Stay socially connected and maintain purpose. In the years after 80, connection isn't a luxury, it's essential. Isolation accelerates decline, purpose fuels vitality. Research has repeatedly shown that social isolation dramatically increases mortality risk. A recent study from the Chinese Longitudinal Healthy Longevity Survey found that being socially isolated significantly reduces the chances of becoming a centenarian. Historically, older adults lived in multi-generational households or communities. Grandparents helped with grandchildren, worked in gardens, and stayed deeply involved. These social bonds supported both mental and physical health. Loss of friends, retirement, and reduced mobility often lead to loneliness in many modern seniors. Without strong purpose or community, the drive to maintain health can weaken. Studies in longevity, blue zones, show that tight-knit social structures are common among the oldest populations. Prioritize regular social interaction. Call friends, attend community meetings, join senior groups, or use online platforms to stay connected. Build or maintain a purpose project. Volunteer, mentor, garden, teach, or lead in community. Having a why gives structure and meaning to each day. Join or form friendship circles like the Okinawan Moai. groups committed to supporting each other emotionally and practically into old age. Share your wisdom. Writing memoirs, storytelling, or passing knowledge to younger generations helps you feel relevant and valued. In Okinawa, one of the blue zones, elders maintain moai, lifelong social groups that meet regularly, share burdens, and celebrate together. In Ikaria, Greece, part of what researchers credit for longevity is strong community engagement plus a slower pace of life. Historically, in many cultures, older people were integral parts of family and society. Elders were respected as knowledge holders, caregivers, and mentors. These roles gave them daily purpose. Connection plus purpose equals longevity fuel. Staying socially engaged and intentionally finding meaning in your days helps you resist decline, maintain mental health, and live stronger for longer. 5. Nourish wisely and promote resilience. What you eat in your 80s matters more than you might think. Proper nutrition isn't just about calories. It's about resilience, recovery, and preventing decline. With age, nutrient absorption weakens, appetite may decline, and dietary needs change. Without good nutrition, the risk of malnutrition, frailty, bone loss, and weakened immunity increases. Historical populations that lived very long often had diets very different from modern Western diets. They ate more plant-based foods, fresh produce, legumes, and minimal processed foods. Blue zones populations such as Okinawa, Japan, Ikaria, Greece, and Sardinia, Italy, emphasize whole foods, vegetables, legumes, minimal meat, healthy fats, and moderate drinking where appropriate. The Ikaria study found that Ikarian elders embraced social eating, midday rest, siesta, and foods like olive oil, legumes, herbal tea, and fish, all contributing to their longevity. The compression of morbidity hypothesis by James Fries suggests that delaying the onset of major chronic disease can compress the time of serious illness near the end of life. And diet is a big part of this. Focus on a whole food, plant-forward diet. Vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, fruits. Include protein sources that are gentle on digestion. Beans, legumes, lean fish, poultry, or plant-based proteins. Use healthy fats, olive oil, as in Mediterranean diets, nuts, seeds. Stay hydrated. Older adults often forget to drink water, but hydration supports nearly every bodily function. Consider herbal or antioxidant-rich foods. Traditional diets often include herbs and teas that support longevity. Limit ultra-processed foods, sugars, and excessive unhealthy fats. When possible, eat in community. Shared meals support both nutrition and social connection. In Okinawa, the centenarian diet is famously low in calories yet nutrient-dense and rich in sweet potatoes, greens, soy, and fish. On Ikaria, people follow a diet that includes beans, potatoes, olive oil, herbal teas, and produce. And they often take a midday rest, reducing stress. Blue Zone experts like Dan Bietner note that the diets in these areas are not fads. They are lifelong patterns of simple, largely plant-based eating. What you eat in your 80s influences how fast you age. By choosing nourishing, whole foods and building mealtime habits around community and balance, you strengthen your body, support your immune system, and build resilience to the hidden erosions of age. Before we wrap up, it's helpful to understand why these hidden causes matter from a biological and historical perspective. Damage accumulation theory. Biologists suggest that over time, our bodies accumulate molecular and cellular damage. Repair mechanisms. DNA repair, protein recycling. Slow as we age, so damage builds. Mortality plateauing at very high ages. Interestingly, research indicates that after age approximately 105, the risk of death levels off. This suggests that if you make it very old, your risk doesn't keep rising the same way. But getting there requires avoiding pitfalls like frailty, bone loss, and severe deficits. Over centuries, average lifespan increased dramatically thanks to declining infant mortality, better sanitation, and medicine. But maximum lifespan has climbed more slowly, meaning how we live, habits in old age, matters a lot. So, to recap, Going past 80 can be tough, not just because of time, but because of muscle loss, bone fragility, frailty, isolation, nutritional challenges, and lifetime damage. These hidden causes quietly chip away at strength, resilience, and health. But the 5 wisdom habits we covered give you real power to resist decline. 1. Build and preserve muscle, so you stay strong and independent. 2. Improve bone health, to prevent fractures and maintain mobility. 3. Manage frailty by tracking health deficits early and applying preventive care. 4. Stay socially connected and purposeful, because community and meaning keep you alive in more ways than one. 5. Nourish your body wisely with whole foods, hydration, and a balanced diet for resilience. If you start weaving these habits into your daily life, no matter your age, you can influence how the years after 80 look, not just for survival, but for thriving. Question for you: which of these 5 habits feels most important or most doable for you right now? Share in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. If this video inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Maybe a friend, a parent, or a grandparent who could benefit. Let's build a community of wisdom-filled seniors who don't just grow old. They grow strong, vibrant, and full of purpose. Thank you for being here. Until next time, stay connected, stay strong, and keep living with wisdom.